Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to learn how to write an article for your school magazine and newspaper. Suppose you have some opinion regarding a topic and you want to tell people about it. How will you do so? Many a time you have seen some writers or people write their problems and suggestions in some newspaper, magazine, journals and blog. They are writing their opinion and beliefs in the form of an article. In this section, we will get ourselves familiar with article writing and the article writing format. So, what is basically an article writing? An article is a piece of writing written for a large audience. The main motive behind writing an article is that it should be published in either newspaper, magazine, or journal. So, let's study how to write a good piece of writing. For this, you need to write a strong lead. The first paragraph of the article is also called the lead. The paragraph is of usually 1 or 2 sentences. It must be a brief summary of the main purpose of the article, which means that should answer the basic question as to who, what, when, where, how, and why are you writing an article. Just look at this structure carefully. Have you ever thought of it? Why a newspaper article is in the inverted pyramid format? Well, this means that the most important and vital facts should be mentioned first, with the less important facts should be mentioned later in the article. The first paragraph must be more important than the second, and the second paragraph should be more important than the third, and so on. Let's study the basic features of writing an article. The headline. The headline also refers to as the head. This is a short attention grabbing statement about the event. It will appear as the top of your article. The byline. Byline means this tells the reader who wrote the article. If you wrote the article, your name will appear just beneath the headline. Then comes up the first paragraph. In the first paragraph, you will be structuring about who, what, when, where, and why in just few words as far as possible. You must find all the answers to these questions and place them in the opening into 1 or 3 sentences. Then in the second and third paragraph should also include the other facts or details the reader would like to know. This is where the writer answers any other important questions the reader might have after reading the headline and the lead paragraph. This section can include direct quotes from the witnesses or bystander. Now moving towards the conclusion part. The last paragraph contains the least important information. For example, information about a similar event or occurrence. Your editor may cut this paragraph down if the article is too long for the space it needs to fill in the newspaper or a magazine article. Let's have a look at the format. You can apply this format for a newspaper report or a magazine article. First, you need to make up a headline, then your name over here, then the further breakup of the 5 rubrics, giving as important details according to the chronological order, and how coherently you make up your 5 body paragraphs. Now sharing some important tips towards writing it. When writing about an event in a chronological order is the most important and vital role, as is usually written in a form of an inverted pyramid. But if the most important part of the story occurs later in the series of the events, be sure to mention this important fact early on in the article, in the first, second, or third paragraph. Keep it simple. No big words are required. Newspapers are written for a 12 years old reading level in order to accommodate readers of all backgrounds and abilities. Big fancy words, it's fine for academic writing or novels, but in newspapers, big fancy words only confuse the readers. Every time is the first time. Provide background information when writing about the latest in a series of events. Do not assume precursory knowledge. Assume the reader is picking up the newspaper for the very first time with no prior knowledge about a situation. Grammar importance, always look up words that you are unsure how to spell. A newspaper article full of spelling errors has little credibility. Now, talking about the most important thing. When wondering about facts to write about next, when writing a newspaper in a pyramid format, ask yourself, what's the most important fact that I have yet to address? This will give a newspaper article greater direction. Well, that's all from my side. I hope you have enjoyed this session of reading and learning. Happy reading. Bye bye.